Is Star Citizen pay to win? I hate this topic, because there are always heated discussions, but you also have to talk about it. Welcome, I'm A.S.Drake. Before I start, here again, please, if you liked the video, subscribe to my channel. Or if you want to support my channel and me, I also started Patreon. You can find the link below the description. And don't forget, I'm happy about any support, but it's also not a must. So, pay to win. This point keeps coming up when people compare prices on the website between the ships. Unfortunately, however, more and more among the player who just got the game, because they watched a few videos of streamer and YouTuber and arrived at the limit of what the starter ships can do. If they then ask what they should do, unfortunately there is a mistake by us old established players. The sentence, upgrade your ship or buy another ship. Okay. Because of this I want to give a note to all interested and beginners, and then I talk about my view of what pay to win is and why I don't see Star Citizen as pay to win. So please listen to me, and I appreciate your view of the topic in the comments below. Let's get to all interested and beginners. You really only need a starter ship to play the game. If you want to look at other ships or want to fly with them, ask the community in-game or outside, and usually there is someone who says yes. Why you do not need more comes later in the point why I don't see Star Citizen as pay to win. So be patient with me. Because I first want to explain my understanding of pay to win. I'll take few games as an example that are definitely pay to win in my view. Again, here's a request to the fans of these games. That is my opinion and not a diss in your direction. Each of you likes your own hobby, no matter what others think or say about it. Okay, what do I mean by pay to win? An advantage that I buy in a free-to-play or now also in pay-to-play titles for real money, which I cannot really compensate by playing alone. Or game steps and contents that are only available for me through additional payments. This does not mean DLCs. You are probably asking for examples now. One game that immediately comes to my mind is World of Tanks. At the beginning, in the first tiers, you unlock your tanks quickly without problems, to the point that research points and credits for the tanks and all components that are needed to be unlocked are so high that the points exploited after a round, especially if you got early killed in a round, are far too low to keep up. So premium account for more points and credits after the game. Here the free-to-play players is out, because you sit forever until you unlock something. And believe me, I went through this school. If you are playing again and again, day after day with the same tank and on the same maps, and after a week or two you still feel like there is no progressions in a competitive game where you want to drive in a high tier, pure frustration. What about EVE Online? Free to play up to a certain skill point, from there you need premium in the form of a subscription or a Plex, which is basically the same. Now someone will say you can buy them in-game on the market from other players. First of all, you have to pay money monthly or buy the Plex monthly to be able to research the adventured skill area at all. So you have no access to ships, weapons and equipment as long as you have not skill trained in this area. This means that quite a bit of the content is not available without paying. In a PvP game, that's a game over for free-to-play gamer. Since even with two identical ships with the same weapons but different skills, the player who invested the money and whose skills are higher wins over the free-to-play player, because he cannot skill these skills at all. Because the paying player lands more hits, does more damage and so on. Until you have reached the point that you can easily earn the costs of a Plex in-game, you have come a very rocky road and made credits for others or invested money to reach this point. A pay to win for me. As a third and last example, I also want to name a pay to play title and not just supposed to picking free to play titles. There is also a classic here, FIFA by EA. This means the All-Star area. Yes, You can earn everything here too by playing, but let's talk about the competitive game, where you need to be at the top as soon as possible if your skills are sufficient, a top team. Since the player is drawn by a chance and you do not want to play for the individual packs for weeks and will wait until you have them, you have to take money in hand to be able to play at the top. You just have to take a look at the first week after the release, where the first players already come up with a complete top team. And you can't have earned it with only playing. This is for a title like FIFA, which has only 1 year lifespan, because the next version is already waiting for its release, a necessary program to spend money. If you only play with friends, of course, you don't care. But I have a friend who took in 1000 to 1200 euros into the game after the release, and that in the first 2 months. For a game that will start again from the scratch with the next title next year? Well, I don't know. Okay, that is my understanding for pay to win. So why isn't Star Citizen a pay to win for me? I can buy the ships for real money. Yes. You can get the ships for real money. As long as the game is in development, only the starter ships are available after the release. There may still be a limited sale from time to time when a new ship is launched after the game release. But the real goal is to get everything in-game. Therefore there's no skill tree that prohibits us from buying certain ships in-game. Only the time factor determines how long it takes. That shouldn't change either. After the release, the shop will contain decoration, skin and so on, in addition to the starter packs. Yes, you will probably still be able to buy in-game currency, but there should be a limit how much you can buy if it comes to this. And even then it's not pay to win, because the normal player is not excluded. Now comes the thought that it has an advantage when he gets the ship for real money. It may be easier, but not really an advantage, since the servers still experience wipes from time to time and everything is back at zero. They have nothing ahead of you, just easier. There is definitely a difference in the game experience. While you can behave like a tourist with a starter ship and test what will be the easiest way to get the next ship, with a larger ship the player has to think about the maintenance of the ship. He may be able to test how quickly he can buy a hammerhead. But someone who has a starter ship can test what is the best way to get from a Mustang to an Avenger Titan, or if he prefer to go to a Cutlass Black or for a Freelancer as an example. And at the next wipe you test something else, so that when the PU becomes persistent you don't have to bet on the wrong horse. You may also notice, man, I have no desire to gradually earn ships until I have what I want. That's too idle for me. Have you ever thought that Star Citizen is not EVE Online or Elite Dangerous, where you need your own ship to get ahead in the game? Why don't you become a part of a crew later? Earn your credits as a pilot, gunner or engineer until you have the money to buy your desired ship. Star Citizen is a sandbox universe where you don't have to play alone and achieve something. Make contact with other players and make friends. Use this time. These are the reasons why Star Citizen is not pay to win for me, because there is no top tier that you have to reach, or no content has to be bought so that you can play everything later. Yes, you can put a lot of money into it, but there is no need. No matter which ship I have, if I transport a box for 6000 credits, the reward will be 6000 credits. I probably made even less if I carried the box with the larger ships than with an Avenger Titan, because a Titan costs lesser in maintenance. That is my view of things. As I said, I'm happy about every comment and every subscriber. If anyone wants to support my channel through Patreon, I will be happy. Until the next time, A.S.Drake.